I just mashed that begin recording button, so we'll just clip out wherever we need to go. Alright then, so, welcome to Let's Play Groonbowl the Third. We're going to talk about the divisions and where everybody's shoved with all their teams and what sort of terrible, terrible skill choices each person has made.
I think this is Groonbowl Hard with a Vengeance.
Some real bad ones.
Yeah, there were some interesting ones.
You know what? Here's the thing. Yeah, there are some bad ones, but there's a lot of ones that are the safe, right picks. So sometimes it gets interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Oh,
Hey,
there's definitely
you
some
idiots.
real spicy ones too.
Hey,
Hi,
you
Rusty.
idiots. Hey, how
Yeah.
you doing?
Hello,
You should
Rusty.
introduce yourselves so
We're gonna
people
work on
know
that.
who you are. Yeah, you
Yep.
should like
Yeah,
say, "Hey, I'm Kyle, and Tim, and Rando."
Yeah, man, I'm Randomus Namus, and this bunch of crackers here, and let's just start over.
Yeah.
No, I like this.
I'll just
That's
disappear
whatever.
back into my genie
Yeah,
bottle.
the clips at the end.
Okay.
But yeah, this is Kyle and Tim that I've got with me here. They're both players in the league as well. In
Yup.
fact, like everybody that's ever going to watch this probably knows both of you, so it's all good.
Maybe, maybe not. I'm
Yeah.
Kyle. He's Tim.
Yep,
Exactly
I'm Tim.
that.
Hello.
So we got two divisions for Groonbowl the Third. We started at 1100 TV with some kind of special creation criteria. They're just 1K teams that have had 100K worth of TV and skills added to them.
Yep.
Which has
No
led
leather.
to some interesting choices because all of that pressure on you at a 1K team for your choices are still there, but you're kind of in developed land now. So people have things like killers and stuff.
The caveat
There
I'd
are
say,
definitely some killers.
you can't take any stats, and you can only put up to 2 skills on one man.
Right.
So, where do we want to start? Which team?
We're going to start with Wales Conference. I'm going to call that Div 1 a whole bunch.
Yep.
And we're going to
you're in
start
that
with
one.
Rylon's Wood Elves.
Side
It's a
salad.
side salad. Now,
They've got a tree.
they do have a tree.
They do have a tree.
They have a tree
A
with
tree
block.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have
Right.
block on a catcher. And then we have Mighty Blow tackle on a War Dancer.
Yeah. This seems solid.
Yeah.
The only really bad part about this start is this one reroll.
Yup.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
I'd rather
Yeah.
have...
elves
We're going to
are
talk about this a lot, I
expensive.
think. But I would rather have the APO in one reroll than 2 rerolls and no APO.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. We've
So I-
already had somebody fall prey to that. Oh, I'm not going to take an April. I'll buy that next game.
Yeah, that
And,
doesn't work out
uh,
every time.
No, it did not go well for them.
But I mean, this is one reroll elves that has exactly 2 real positionals on it.
Well,
There's going to be some plays. There is a lot of weight on Bok Choy on this team.
so, I've talked to Rylon about this, and Rylon's belief in elves is that eventually you want all the skills to be rerolls, your rerolls to be on skills anyway.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest problem with Wood Elves in a long league, which 10 games is pretty long, is attrition, that you're going to run out of money. So we decided to spend the money up front on a block tree, which, I don't know, I think the tree's good enough on its own, but he wants to be sure.
No, I think this block tree is great. It lets him actually take blocks with his tree, which is really helpful because no block is a giant pain and you're having to devote elves to make it 3 dice to make it safe and stuff. So I like the block tree. I kind of like the one War Dancer start, especially like in this
Yeah.
super tight start because it lets you not have to protect 2 War Dancers. And then we have the Blodge Catcher to give us some reach. I think it's good. I think it's a fine start. The one
Yeah.
reroll is scary, but it's Wood Elves. They can
It's
buy it for
honestly
100k.
not
It's no big deal.
that bad. Just because fucking elves.
Yeah, they got Addy
Like-
for it. They do a lot already, and the catcher
Yeah.
has dodge at least.
That
does the
said,
Dancer.
odds are pretty
So
good
does
he's
the
going to go
Dancer.
into game 3 with 1 reroll.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
he doesn't have a thrower to put another leader on, but gotta live with that.
Yeah, I mean, you eventually get
We
that.
moving
I
on?
mean,
And we have a
I
squig
wouldn't bother,
kiosk
I don't
here,
think.
so no
Oh,
rocks
right.
and no bribes for Rylon.
That is actually, I respect that a ton. Fuck throw a rock.
We'll see a lot of that. Let's go on. Let's just do them in the order that they're in the box here and do LCal next.
yeah.
Seems
I
good.
am literally 12 the Skaven.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, Bone Nerve, Bendover, Lou. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's
yeah.
exactly that sort of stuff. Now, this...
Alright.
I think that this is one of the 2 starts that you can have with Skaven, and we'll see the other one here in a little bit. He has 2 wrestle gutters and 2 block gutters, and then just a tackle on a storm vermin.
Yep.
He is the anti-elf version of that, where all of his gutters become extra fuckers.
I guess, but like,
Yeah.
I even still, I'm not sure I want to wrestle gutters. This is a fine
Well-
start, and I am gonna pick some nits about it. But I like the 3
So-
rerolls and an APO. I think that puts you in a great place to do some really, really obnoxious things versus all these 1 and 2 reroll teams that you're gonna be playing.
So the big thing about this start that I'm not a huge fan of
No
is
claw.
that he's put all these he's put all these skills on gutter runners, which are like the easiest pieces ever to level.
You are absolutely
like-
right.
Like you really have to try to not level one of these guys game one. if
You have to
an
actively
unskilled
try
guy.
not to put the SPP on the gutters because that's where the ball goes every time. Like this
Yeah,
this
exactly.
thrower guy here, he really is just like a fancy lineman.
Yep.
And then we have a security gate here, so no pitch invasions or riots. There's a lot of people who went with the please don't screw me with kickoff events
I certainly
upgrades.
respect that.
Certainly. I think that's all we need to
Also,
say about these rats, though. There's not a whole lot unique about these guys.
One more
Besides,
thing.
no killer really other than a tackle man.
One more thing. They have orc cheerleaders.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it's a good choice.
We've
Okay, then
got
on to
Unpunchable.
Wilfrey with the unpunchable things. So another Wood Elf team. We're very high agi up here in Div 1.
He is the fuck trees version of Wood Elves.
Yeah, man, this guy believes that it is his drive every drive. We have 2
I
ward
love it.
answers, one with tackle and sidestep, and the other with strip ball and sidestep, and then a kick lineman just for extra hate.
Yep.
Now,
Right,
there
I'm
is
just
something
big
I'd like to
fan of
point
this,
out about this all-in team.
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh,
We
no.
have 3 fan... Well,
Hey,
no, we have some
bro.
fan factor. He hasn't played his game yet. has he?
Why?
Yeah, it's
Um,
just to spend the extra TV because you can't carry the money over.
Yeah,
But he doesn't have an APO. 2 rerolls,
guy.
no APO, double ward answer. This is just
I
like the
guess-
bootiest boot magnet of a team.
yeah, I would definitely go 1 reroll here and
Right.
the APO.
I mean, like, I understand why you want 2 rerolls here, but just don't leap. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
That said,
You can get away with not doing it.
I
It's
do
fine.
like the double dancer start over the tree
I
and
do
the
too.
catcher, just because I think this is a way more threatening team.
I think so too.
Oh, right.
just-
Club.
I'm not really sure. I haven't looked at prices on these, but could you buy a catcher for a lineman plus 30k? Is that a thing you could have done?
Maybe.
I
Probably.
have no idea what a catcher on Wood Elves costs. But anyway.
Yeah, I think you
Yeah.
could have.
Yeah. I
If
would
that's a
like
thing
one
that you
better.
could have done, and that'll come up a little later, somebody did something similar instead of taking a ghoul on one of the undead teams. But this is another sandwich kiosk team, so no rocks to be found for these sweet Wood Elves.
That's fine.
Okay, and then next up, we have Sign Salmonella Express. The lizards.
All right. This is lizards fixing the problem that lizards have to start with block.
No blocks. Yeah, look at all these
And-
blocks.
He wanted a Croxagore, so he took a Croxagore to start and gave it block, which is very
Huh.
powerful.
And he took 2 rerolls and an apothecary over extra Sauruses, which I think is great. I think that this is a
Yeah.
fine team.
Yeah, this team looks fine.
Like, it's tough that you're going to be starting down Sauruses, but I mean, they're only,
Yeah.
what's a Saurus, 80k? They're not actually terribly
Yeah, they're
bad.
80K. They're not that bad to buy.
The first games,
Yeah.
if you end up against people with tackle killers, the first games are going to be like real hard because they're going to wreck your skinks. But they're
Oh.
all 0 SPP skinks because you're smart and you put all the skills on the Sauruses and the Crocs.
Loners
Oh,
can
yeah,
do their job.
Skinks are fucking black holes for points on
Exactly.
lizards anyway.
Yeah,
so
man, like-
it doesn't matter.
The level 2 skink will come. That's like game 1.
Yep.
But this Bloxagore, man, everybody loves a Bloxagore.
No, it's so good.
Well, unless they're trying to fight the Bloxagore.
There's gonna be a lot of block big guys in this division. This is another security gate, so no riots, no pitch
Good.
invasions.
Good.
Yeah, get them out of here.
All right.
Yeah, ask Kyle about his pitch invasions record.
It's pretty bad.
Oh man,
have
something
that
they
on
can make
video.
for some of the most lopsided games.
All right. Speaking of lopsided games, we have
TimNeilson with
Goblins
goblins.deck.
Deck. It's actually rats. Because of course it is.
Yeah, that sounds like Tim. Did you capitalize your players? You did.
I was
'cause
slightly
Tim will
more effort
perpetually
this
disappoint you.
time.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, he went with the same loadout. It's your standard rat start, APO, 3 rerolls, all your positionals, because
Yeah.
rat ogres don't exist.
Exactly, but he took the opposite approach to putting the points on the rats, in that we have a Claw Mighty Blow Storm Vermin and a Dodge Guard Storm Vermin, and then just everybody else is 0 SPP because they're rats and they'll find that stuff on the floor.
Yep, I like this a whole lot. You don't have tackle. Again, I did with a couple wood elves, but they don't have dodge yet, so that'll be
Yeah.
interesting.
So now, I think that we talked about this a little bit before. I think that your start, Tim, is a little bit weaker out of the gate.
Yeah, probably. Also, I'm maybe slightly unfortunately with this start. I have the rat mirror as my first match.
Oh man, that's gonna be rough. Yeah, because his gutter's gonna be able to beat yours up.
His gunners are better than mine, but like it's just kind of gonna be a shootout.
Yeah,
It
but
also has the one tackle guy, which matters a lot.
you're just gonna
Yeah,
use this
but I'm just
goblin
gonna-
pile
I'm just gonna
driver to
murder-
delete his boys.
Yeah, I'm just gonna murder him with pile driver. It'll be fine.
And now,
Also, of
Don't
note,
worry about it.
note Tim's enhancement here. He is a fun haver. He believes in the magician's shop.
wizards for everybody. Cast those fireballs off your basic mountain.
Unfortunately,
Oh, yeah.
human cheerleaders like a scrub.
I'm gonna cast the fireballs and the lightning bolts.
From your basic mountain. It works.
But
Yep.
yeah, it's rats. They're gonna do rat shit. He's got his
Oh, hey.
fucking killers with doubles on them to start. So, moving on to a more interesting team that we'll have a little bit of poking to do at. Bus's in-law, the Dark Elves.
Ah, yes. So we spent an entire night theory crafting how the hell you start elves in a league like this, and the answer is you're just short on money.
Yep, it's horrible.
So you either get 2 rerolls, no APO, or an APO and a reroll, and
Yep.
maybe you take leader on a guy who can take leader as a way to get that last one.
Yeah, man.
Plus,
Look at Bus's team. He has 2 rerolls and no APO and 4 positionals. It's not like he bought 8 positionals and can't afford his rerolls. He just can't do it with Dark Elves.
Yup.
to be fair, runners are literally there to have leader and then eventually die.
Yeah, they're just a lineman that gets leader. That's all they are.
Well, I mean, they're fast lineman that gets leader. Anyway, all of his positional had blodge. He took dodge on all of his blitzers, all 3 of them. And then he took block and sidestep on that one witch elf, which I like a lot.
Yeah, I think this is a fine start. Like, he is riding the snake, though. Like, if this witch elf dies in game 1, 2, 3, this is a fucked team.
Yeah, but I mean, Bus knows that,
Yeah.
and
Oh, Bus knows that he
it's
is.
a calculated risk.
Yeah, he's on the precipice, and he put himself there on purpose.
Like if he can get like 2 games and get that APO, he's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
2
Like,
games with nothing going seriously wrong.
if he's like real lucky and gets it game 1, that's awesome for him. Now, there's a beer stand team, which I think is great with this witch elf start.
Oh
He
yeah,
believes in
no.
surfing, which I
Yeah,
love. I
it's great.
love that.
I'll give you a spoiler. There's a lot of beer stands.
Speaking of things that love surfing,
Yeah,
you're
man.
up next.
Yeah, with the diaper dame.
Norse, which is all of us.
It is, in fact, basically people from the league. Now,
And,
I am a firm believer in having more rerolls than my opponent, so I started with 3-1 and just didn't start with what are they on Norse runners or whatever the wrestle guys are,
Oh, the run.
or they're block
Dauntless.
dauntless.
Those things are actually sweet, so you
Yeah.
probably want to pick them up when you get the money.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I just didn't have the money to start with them.
Mm-hmm. You got a bunch of movement 6 size. You got block on your ults, which
Yep.
matters a ton.
Skip the
You
hard
got-
levels.
You got a guard on one of them, which is real good in your string 4 boys. You got a mighty blow tackle killer, which makes sense in your berserkers. And that's it. 3
Yep.
rerolls, APO, and of course, you got a beer stand.
Look at this
Yeah,
cute
that's
thrower here that I have because I was wasting 20k TV otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
It's
I also
harder
have a
with
beer
2 extra
stand
fan
because
factor.
for Frenzy, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Beer
like
stand is
the.
good on,
I'm going to
good
talk
on
about
both.
it now because I can talk about my own team and not somebody else's. But I like the block or the tackle mighty blow together, as opposed to separate, which a lot of people have done because I think it's going to let you actually leverage this killer start more easily than if they're separate.
I agree, and I also took it, as you'll see later.
Yeah. Okay, who's up next? Voyager's Top Deckers, Undead. This is like the most generic team start of all time.
It's
Yep.
all Magic the Gathering joke.
Powerful.
Yeah, it is. It's a bunch of Magic the Gathering jokes. We put block on the mummies, and we put Mighty Blow Tackle on white, and you're done. 3 rerolls, easy peasy.
It's
Now,
real strong.
This team
There's
builds itself.
Really nothing to like.
Voyage
There's
and
not
I,
really anything to debate here.
yep, Voyage and I talked about this. We both agreed, and we both took exactly this.
Yeah.
It's really good. Like, I played Necro before. I'm going with Undead because it's a little more straightforward. Now, unlike Voyager, I actually have a stadium upgrade. Voyager's our first person who just said, fuck it.
Yeah,
The
Voyager
stadium
forgot
upgrade.
to buy a stadium upgrade. He was in the
Yeah,
process of deciding and just never did. He still can.
So
He hasn't
he
played his
still
first
has
game
time.
yet, so...
Yeah, he hasn't played his match.
Now, that said, there are like 4 people who are locked into no stadium enhancement in the other
Oh,
div.
yeah.
Oh, baby, we have a fun haver here.
Yeah, man, Jimmy?
Here, Jimmy is playing Bretts again, despite the fact Jimmy has gone on record saying Bretts are not a great team in the long run. In the short run, though, Jimmy believes in getting those critical levels on blockers who have wrestle, and the only strength axis on your team, so they're the motherfuckers that are hard to get your guard and your mighty blow.
Yeah,
So we
don't
get 2 of them guard and 1 of them mighty blow.
just ignore the fact that his team's beat up. He and I played our game already, but I think his start is really strong, and I think that in our division, he's actually basically one of the bash teams.
Mm-hmm.
He started with 2 dodges on his blitzer man, so he's got these obnoxious like blodge catch
Oh, yeah, those guys
blitzers,
look
and then he like
stupid.
has 2 guard on his blockers as these wrestle assholes. But the one that I am not sold on, but it's just sort of a side effect of him being Brett's, is this wrestle mighty blow boy.
Welcome to why Bretts are kind of bad long run.
Yeah.
Yep.
All your strength
Right.
positionals will get fucking wrestle.
Start with wrestle, yeah.
Wrestle. Yeah, it's real awkward to have your guard guy, just put himself on the ground because your opponent rolled a both down.
Exactly.
Or-
This is pretty standard start, 3 rerolls and an
Or
APO.
because you rolled a both down.
And then he took
Yeah,
a ref.
one of-
We both got us an extra bribe in that game. It was sweet.
Yep.
We actually even
Yes,
rolled
he's
a
a
second
fan.
extra bribe in the game. It was cool.
Nice. Yeah. So that's actually the thing I like about Jimmy a lot. Bretts are a fouling team, and that's the other reason he's kind of a bash team.
Oh yeah, look
With
at
all
these
that
look at these Finn linemen. They're free to foul all the time. They only cost 40K.
Oh yeah, they're great fouling pieces. They're like basically just as good as line rats for fouling.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
maybe
only
slightly
one more to go, and this one's a
because
doozy.
Oh
they're-
boy.
they're-
Already dead.
So Kemri are a team that has a rough life, and this man says fuck it and embraces that.
Lean in.
He does not believe in your auto re-rolling throw Roz because why
Yeah,
bother?
he does that. This is Zushio, by the way, son of Bort.
Right.
Yeah, he starts with 2 blocks on his Tomb Guardians, but no more than that because it's hard to take these double skills on everybody. And then he starts with the split Mighty Blow and Tackle on Blitz Raz. And, like, it's fine. I think it's totally fine. It's just not what I would do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's better to stack the 2.
Yeah.
Just so you get 1 more effective killer than 2 like kind of the 60% killers.
Yeah.
would
It's
be.
also
Yeah.
literally more SPP, and
Yeah.
the level that you've left to be gotten on the other Blitzer is the easiest level you can get.
Yep.
So it's 4 SPP and
True.
probably effectively 4 more.
I mean,
But,
that's like
you know.
two Kaz, man. That's a game.
It is. Anyway, his stadium has the throw a rock, screw get the ref,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Lots of kiosks.
I actually like this team a lot. Like, it's a good way to make Kemri do what you want them to do.
Yeah, this is certainly a world where Kimry gets to start and maybe be good.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, the real thing
Possibly.
Kemri wants is plus agility on literally anything.
Yeah,
But
any
can't
piece.
make that
Plus
happen.
agility, found the ball carrier.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, well, that's Div 1. Let's move on and just go and talk about teams some more. In Div 2, the Campbell Conference.
Colonel.
Yeah,
we
Colonel
found the
Campbell. Yeah, sorry. It was renamed the Ryden Conference, this previous one we looked at.
Yes, it was.
Indeed. Okay, so let's start out with the first one here, and let's try and avoid having too much of a sob story, but we're going to have to talk about pieces that I don't think are actually even on the roster anymore.
Nope.
No, you
Yeah.
fired it. Okay, so
Yeah.
Hiroshia here, the Iron Alcoholics, tried to ride the snake on this no apothecary plan too, and the spot that you see missing below his Chaos Dwarf blockers was a break tackle block Bull Centaur. He fucking died. Took a strength injury on like turn 4 or some shit.
Turn 7.
Sure. It was soon.
Yeah. He didn't even make it through the half.
But like
he has this reroll.
I can't help but point out he's got 4 rerolls.
Yeah. That reroll could have been an APO and like 2 fan factor or something, and
That was a really nice.
You would have had a chance to, do something.
So I talked to him a little bit about it, and his rationale here is both that he's sort of riding the AV9 thick skull snake, and that's kind of fine. But he also like wants all these rerolls because he's playing, Agi 2 ball, and the rerolls are more expensive, and blah blah blah. But you're starting with this one key piece that's got all your skills on it. What's a bull to start? 110 plus a double and a normal. So it was like 150k bull centaur, man.
Not even doubles.
Sure, yeah, all right. The 2 claws are doubles, yeah.
So
It's
it
2
was
normals.
180, I think.
Yeah, it's still like a
180,
huge chunk of. Yeah, it's got to be 180
he's down to
because he doesn't
920
have the
now.
fan factor yet.
So it was a 140 piece, which is really rough.
No, man, 180.
No, 140, then 20 more.
Yeah,
two
right,
more skills
right,
give
yeah.
it
Yeah.
180,
Okay.
yeah.
Which
But,
is still,
you know,
it's horrible. Like this team is in for a
Fine.
hard season now because it now has to play without bull centaurs or an apothecary.
So
Mhm.
the thing you get
Oh, and like,
really decent chores, which 2 already have claws, so they're well on their way to be mighty blow killers.
yeah, one's only an
One of them
SPP
is
away.
And he pass away. But the other thing you get is you get inducements for pretty decent stars. Like they've got a really good ball handler for cheap when they're star players. And they also have a chainsaw, so you can sort of lean in on the fouling concept. He
That's
took
true.
the screw weather because weather.
He
is
actually
down,
thought
so-
about
but-
taking. He thought about taking Knuffle Altar here, but he took Magic Dome instead because this is fantastic with bull centaurs. It turns out, which he now doesn't have.
The thing about the Bull Centaur is when it's got great tackle to make it super mobile, and it's got all that movement.
It's just a
gonna
blitzer. It's a
outrange-
9 movement blitzer.
Right, but it's going to outrange all these Chaos Dwarf blockers who are 4 movement. It's a problem that you have with Werewolves on Necro a lot.
Yeah, you got to
Also-
protect those guys. I got to stay behind your line, or they just fucking die. Like
The reason we
unlike a lot of super sweet pieces that just have like Blodge and Agi 4, the Bull Centaur can't get itself out of trouble.
Yep. I mean, you also know about riding that AV9 snake because the first game ever on your orcs, I killed one of your black orcs.
Yeah, man. That was fun. Or that our last season with my lizards, I lost 2 Saurus game 1. That was cool.
Yep.
Never start
Yeah.
without an APO, gentlemen. It sucks.
Yup.
But,
Yeah,
that's a shame, but you got to learn the lesson.
Yeah, that's my soapbox. Love you, Hiroshia, and I'm sorry that this happened to you.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we
You
got Rusty
deserved
with the
it.
Groovy Goonies playing Necro.
Yeah.
Now, I think
Groovy.
Rusty did with his extra 30 TV what you should do with your extra 30 TV, and you just flush it down the toilet and forget you had it.
Yep. Yup.
Now,
No, but see, the fan factor gives you better chances to win the fame roll, and that matters
You
so
still
much.
Now, I-
get
It
pitch
does.
invaded to
It
death.
doesn't matter
that
much.
said,
Um,
you can get ghouls on this team, right?
You
yeah.
can.
They cost
You don't
70, right?
I
They're
forgot
they-
to spin my last skill.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
happened.
Oh, is that what this is? It's yeah, you are missing a skill here.
oh,
Yep.
rep-
Oh, man, and you
yeah,
even
it's
played a
just
game,
five
didn't you?
rolls.
What are you
Double.
doing?
Well, I played a game.
Yeah, you did.
Oh,
You
yeah.
played the Amazons. You played
No,
Forest.
he didn't.
He hasn't played yet.
Nope.
Oh, did
Well,
that get
it's,
reset?
There's no, it hasn't been reset. No, it doesn't play.
No,
you
Rusty
don't
literally already
do
played the Zons.
Furl
Nope.
and- Nope. The only
Um,
people who played
oh,
was
oh.
Furl and,
Why is this listed as a concede then? He has a history like a concede against Zons.
Is it maybe?
Oh, you scooped a
friendly?
game to what the hell? I have no idea what you've done
Anyway.
here, Rusty.
Anyway, moving
Yeah.
on to the actual
That might be
roster.
friendly.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's probably
yeah.
what it is. It's yeah, there were some people who did some friendlies. That's what it is.
It says he still
Doesn't
has
matter.
infinite money in the.
Yeah,
in
exactly.
the-
You should go and buy your last skill.
Now,
Yeah.
if we can make recommendations, I would say that potentially guard on one of your wights or your flesh golems is really good. You could also just take dodge or block on your other werewolf.
Wait, isn't? Yeah, no. This is 3 normals and a double. This is
Yeah, no,
right
that's
for
right.
skills.
That's
He
right.
only burned
You don't
20k.
get
That's
any
what
more.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
So you
the
can't
thing
you
about,
can't buy the ghoul because it doesn't fit. Yeah.
No, you never can buy ghouls on your standard necro start. You get 2 rerolls and then you're a regen team.
Yeah, you're right.
But the other thing is he's got 3 normals and a double because Mighty
Right.
Blow is a double for werewolves.
Right. So he
I've
wastes
gotten a lot of
10
werewolf
TV
doubles.
there and 20 the other way, and I'm busy looking at 30 to make 70.
Yep.
But yeah, I love this Mighty Blow block werewolf, and I love the 2 block on the flesh golems. It's things that you want on this team.
Yep.
We'll see another one later that's a little different. He's only got 2 rerolls, but that's this life.
That's necro.
Yeah.
Necro, you want to save up a lot of money for a reroll, and then you eventually buy ghouls. Like ghouls are 70k linemen that get agi access through
Also-
quasi elves.
Rusty, what you gonna buy? What stadium enhancement you gonna put on this thing? Well, we got you
The
here.
Foul Stadium.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
should
the
do
bribe
it.
hut.
Bribe Hut.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
supply some boots to people.
It's a good
I mean,
idea.
that's
Let these
fun.
zombies
Why
get
you play
some.
Necro?
Let Dedatrus dead some people.
Speaking of Groons, here's Denizen.
The real one.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with Forest.
The only
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Now,
Anyway.
this is a start that I think is either like next level fantastic or like on crack, and I'm not really sure which it is.
Oh no, this start is great.
I think this is
The only,
fantastic.
so the only thing I would change is instead of the sure hands on thrower, I would have given one of these blitzers Mighty Blow.
Yeah,
But
so
other than that, this start is great.
Forrest here took 4 fucking guard on his 4 blitzers, so he just has 4 blodge guard 6337 fuckers.
Because you know
Yeah.
what's better than Amazons? Amazons that now don't have a strength problem. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's
right.
normally an issue. They still have a movement problem, but guess what? They outbash you because unless you roll pals, they don't give a shit.
Yeah, and then we have this sure hands thrower, which I think is a fucking great pickup. I really actually kind of wish I had a sure hands. There's some kind of rude shit happening in this division.
He does not believe in stadium enhancements, but he
Yeah.
does believe in
probably
rerolls and believes in APOs. Somebody should let them know. You know.
Yeah,
probably
I pinged them all as I made the notes. I've been pinging them all week, and they still won't buy their stupid stadium enhancements. They just don't want it.
It's whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't actually make a huge difference, but they're fun. Okay, Kyle, you're
they
up
do
next.
things.
You're ace trombonists. Some more
Mhm.
undead, but we've seen this team before, just without the checker pattern.
It's
Yep.
literally exactly the same as Voyagers. And,
I think he
Except
had
that
4
you
zombies
have
instead of a
one
skeleton.
skeleton.
Yeah, you have a
I have one
skeleton.
You have one skeleton, and he has zombies instead.
I believe in
That's the
fouling.
big difference.
See also my stadium upgrade of more fouling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Look at this bribe hut.
I will point out that I did it first. Not that it's not incredibly obvious.
Yeah, this
No,
one.
it's
There,
super
the
obvious.
other like cute possible build for this is that you just start with 4 block mighty blow guys,
Yeah,
but I think the
but I
tackle's
respect
better.
tackle. I took tackle before those Amazons even existed because I respect the idea of Amazons.
Oh yeah, you need it. Okay, and then Gnatics up next with another necromantic team, the alt lefties. Now this is the other necro start, and this one's spicy. You ready for this? How about block mighty blow on both wolves?
I mean, claw mighty blow right out the gate with block. It's pretty strong.
Yeah, man,
The
Gnatics
issue
out for
is-
blood.
He
Yeah.
went for 3 rerolls, which means you have to drop a white, which is kind of rough. But I guess if you're committing to blitzing with your wolves, it's okay.
Exactly.
You don't have block on your flesh golems, and let me tell you, I have gone like 20 games without getting block on one of my flesh golems. It blows.
Yeah, that is my concern with this team is the lack of block on the fleshies.
Now, I think this is fine because your wolves are your real stars, and honestly, 4 strength guy is okay out the gate. He's still going to stand there and take hits. He's just going to occasionally explode and not be able to hit back so well.
Black Orc would stand firm. He's fine.
Yeah, it's not a bad piece.
I mean,
it's not a bad start.
Probably fine.
And then what do we have here? What do we have here? What's the
Astro Granite.
Yeah, I
Astro
forgot he bought
Granite,
Astro
baby.
Granite.
Oh yeah, this is actually fine because you've got a movement 8 guy, but your zombies do tend to make some GFIs sometimes.
Yeah.
Whatever.
The
They're
best of the
zombies. Who
worst.
cares?
I feel like it's not as good on Necro as it is on some other teams.
Yeah. I also think it's kind of risky with these frenzy werewolves because you're going to want to GFI with them a lot. I think
really
that it's
sad.
good and it's out for blood, but this is a high variance team.
The thing I really would want, well, he's got 3 rerolls. That's the other thing he did on Necro.
Yeah.
It's a little unusual. The other thing I would really like would be Wood Elves with Astrogranite, because if you got the movement anyway.
Oh yeah, no. What else is a good team for Astrogranite?
But your Sprint Surefeet boys are making GFIs all the time.
Who gives a shit? They're catchers. You buy another one.
They're already like movement 8.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Oh,
Like-
baby.
Who's up next? Prozac.
Prozac Goblins.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm
Yeah.
pumped for this team.
Note
Yeah,
this
these
TV,
guys are good.
930 TV gives him, what is that, 170 on most people, which lets him get
Rusty.
Ripper, right?
Rusty, help us with goblins.
We want to know about goblins.
Yeah, how many
How
TV,
much
how
is
much does
Ripper?
Ripper cost?
So the magic number is 420 in terms of TV difference.
It's 2
'cause
bribes and
Ripper's-
Ripper, right?
Yeah, well, so minus 150 from 420, and that's what
Okay,
Ripper
so
costs.
Ripper's
13.7 or
270. So you
370.
can't quite
270.
get Ripper.
Okay, so he's looking at
Um,
just his 3 bribes to start then, I think.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, but then
he
you can
does
get
have
Ripper
the
later.
Nuffle altar, so
He could
Ripper's
potentially get it,
actually
yeah.
220.
But I think you'd still rather get the bribes
Oh, you'd
than...
still rather have
the
the
third
bribes
troll, yeah.
to start, and then yeah.
But yeah, we have some spicy stuff here. We have a pair of block trolls, which are
Mhm.
fucking block trolls.
Fantastic.
And then we have this Mighty Blow Grab Fanatic.
Oh boy.
Sure do.
I would have liked block on the Fnatic, maybe on the Looney, but who knows? But you know,
The Looney is less so. Like, so the Looney you kind of need to like work to protect because you can't run him away after you blitz with him.
I mean, but the Looney's just like...
But-
On this team, the Looney's just the dirtiest player, right?
Oh yeah, probably. But
it's a goblin that fouls
you
real
can
good.
hit people with him.
Also, this
and
is a-
sometimes it's like a better option than trying to punch that strength 4 guy who's over there
You're right.
or whatever.
This is also a no
Like-
APO team. I don't think that matters very much as goblins.
It's goblins. Who cares? I mean, okay,
Yeah,
care
the
about
trolls have regen. The
Losing the
fanatic
Fanatic's gonna
hurts if
suck,
it
but
dies.
whatever. It's a
Who the
Fanatic. He does
hell-
most of
God,
his job as just a Fanatic.
but
Yeah,
also
like-
I feel the need to point out who the fuck punches this Fnatic besides myself with a death roller? Even
I'll do
though
it.
A death roller.
I punched
You
a
will?
fanatic with in the 1600 league.
Really?
KO'd him.
Dauntless
Straight
is a
off.
cool skill.
Oh, I didn't even dauntless. I just like stacked 8 elves on him and punched him.
That's fair. I mean, you
Went
get him.
down,
You
man.
get rid of him. Guaranteed
True.
removal's good, man. Now this is
Well-
again a knucklehead. It's no big deal. It's what you expect from them. So next up, we have another undead. Now this undead, I have words to say about. Okay.
Yeah, because he took a slightly different build. He took the Black Mummies, which you would expect, but he took Mighty Blow and Guard, which means he outstrengths the other undead. He also took only 2 ghouls, which
So yeah,
confuses me.
instead of a third ghoul, he took a coaching assistant, a cheerleader, and a fan factor.
I don't agree with that part. The rest
No,
of it.
you could have had a third ghoul. For
You
that.
could have just had a
Could've
third ghoul here.
dropped a zombie, had a ghoul, and I would have dropped another zombie for a skeleton.
And he also needs to upgrade his stadium, but he's played his game,
But
so he
he
can't.
He's already played a
Yeah,
game.
he's locked into
He's
no
the
stadium
one who
upgrade.
killed Hiroshia's bull centaur.
Poor
Just
Bull
punched
Centaur.
it with a mummy.
Yeah.
That's where Victor Vora got that 2 SPP from.
Wow.
I am very glad you are on the skeleton train. That skeleton is the team mascot.
So,
Okay.
fun fact: when I my Blood Bowl 1 undead team was just all skeletons and no zombies, even though I know that's not like the quote unquote correct way to do it, just because I like the extra movement.
It's nice.
You know,
I made my concession with a split. I think a split is an interesting part of the nuance of undead.
no, the standard is like 3 zombies and 1 skeleton. Just because the skeleton's a little bit faster, he's a little bit easier to foul with.
Yep, that's literally my logic.
He's the boy that's not on the line.
Anyway, speaking of logic, we have crates humans.
Yeah, dumb things.
which, yeah, they're built to take some guard on some blitzers, take some tackle on some blitzers.
And they have a thrower with
yeah, this is the only leader in the league.
Because this has been workshopped by King of Theory Crafting Humans, Moniker.
Yep.
And this is 2 rerolls, but it's got a leader, so it's actually 3 rerolls and an APO. I like these teams
like
that get to
2.5
buy
rerolls.
5 normal skills. I think that is a real boon.
By the way, we haven't been talking about naming gimmicks, but this is a naming gimmick that has dumb things. And it is very specific to Crate, with things like Stance Cars. And
Now,
vegan pet
posting.
food.
Do you think that...
Magic the Gathering.
Do you think his
Lana
4th
Del Rey.
Blitzer's name was prophetic?
No, that just sort of happened. I do like processed cheese there as well. So very British and angry.
Oh, I think Crate has, like, yeah, Ref Hut. More bribes.
Humans are a fouling team.
Yeah, that's,
his
humans are
stadium-
humans. They're in the middle.
Fair
I
enough,
like his
yeah.
double guard. I like his... I think it's a fine team.
Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah.
This is a fine team.
It's
It's
nothing
like,
special,
nothing
but it's fine.
exciting, but it's good.
I think I might have taken a Mighty Blow instead of the second tackle, preferably on the tackle guy, but I think it's fine.
That's what I would have done as well,
Maybe.
but who cares? It's
Yeah.
pretty solid.
Yeah,
I
this
think
is...
he was set up to be planned against an Elfie league, and it's like Moniker wanted to screw himself because he's next with elves.
Yeah. Moniker has some spicy boys on this team.
He believes in an APO and 2 rerolls.
He
Which
does.
is pretty standard. He gets 2 catchers, 2 blitzers, and a thrower. Pretty standard.
Yep.
And he has a fucking pile on Mighty Blow blitzer. It's
Look
so
at this
good.
fucking bonk snake right here.
Yep, I love it.
This boy's gonna
I
kill
like
some
this.
people.
This is real good.
Yeah, I like this team a lot.
Yeah. And then the catchers
And
are
then
getting
the others-
levels on their own because
Oh, yeah, the
they're
catchers
fucking...
Are super easy.
Yeah, they find SPP. It just lays around.
It just falls out of their pockets.
And god damn it,
and then this
Moniker.
Yeah,
this
Moniker
other
doesn't have an
blitzer
upgrade
is
either.
just a lodge step tackle guy, which is just good.
Yep.
Like this is just a guy you want, and then you have your murder blitzer.
Yep. He just reliably has tackle. Like he's taking that concession.
Yep.
Speaking
Well,
of
and
Bong
Bong Snake takes tackle on his next, or no, he
No.
takes dodge and then
he
tackle.
takes dodge.
But
We talked about this actually.
yeah, no, I forgot he didn't have dodge.
He split his killers because he thinks they'll level faster that way.
I mean, he
mean-
also put 2 levels on each. You can only put 2 levels.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's
Blitzers are
as
easy to
opposed to
level.
him having like a tackle mighty blow guy. That's why he has like the dodge tackle man as an anti-elf killer, and then the mighty blow piling on guy just a
No, the reason
general purpose
the reason
killer.
he did it is because Mighty Blow and Piling On are both doubles for
Right.
elves.
And you make a
That
freak,
piece
yeah.
is the piece it's what he's protecting.
Well,
Speak-
and pro elves can always find SPP for their blitzers too.
Oh yeah,
Like
you
it's super easy to just dump the ball off to a blitzer on
Agi 4.
you know, just a whatever random chance.
Everybody on
that
this
you
team is a scoring threat.
Yeah,
Speaking of-
exactly.
Speaking of freaks, we have Chaos up next, which has block on 2 Chaos Warriors. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Surf Lord
And then-
Supreme.
Yeah, I like that bit. And then it has a Blodge Minotaur where his
Yeah.
2 doubles went.
Yeah.
Nope, Lodgement. I
this
think
is,
that this team is a terrible choice for winning, but I love this team.
It's cool.
I-
But
So this team is fine except for that it has a Minotaur in the first place.
And no
And
APO
then
and
he
only
gave
2
it
rerolls.
Lodge. Oh, and it doesn't have. Oh God, yeah. This
Yeah.
Never
look,
mind. This is like. Oh, this is so bad.
Cowabunga is going to get
Like the
stomped into the
whole-
dirt.
It's a great name. This is
It's
a great
awesome.
name for Minotaur.
Now the
Especially
other,
with the naming gimmick,
yeah,
but
it's good.
Lodge Minotaur, come on.
I mean, it's cute and it's
mean,
fun. I
cool,
like it, but also only 3 Chaos Warriors to start is terror
Right,
when
if
you have
you
to buy
want-
an APO.
if you want the Minotaur, you can't have enough Chaos Warriors.
You
Like,
like
this
don't
is
get
just
to
how
have your
that
4th
works.
Chaos Warrior until like game 5 or something, and he has 0 SPP then.
Yep.
It's
Yeah, it's real bad.
rough.
And he has
Let me
the
tell you.
surf
Let me
stand.
tell you about fresh Chaos Warriors on a team that's already developed.
They're fucking
They don't
bad.
get to do anything. They don't get to do anything.
All they do is mark people and never level.
Yep.
The most you can hope is that you manage to pitch clear a guy and feed him a touchdown.
Exactly
Because
that. You
literally
have to feed him
average
2
rate.
touchdowns and get him blocked.
Yep. And it's like when all your Chaos Warriors are 0 SPP, it's fine because you're just doing that anyway.
Yeah, and everybody
But
else
once
is a
you
shitter
have
too.
actual reliable Chaos Warriors, you're like, no, I just want to use the reliable ones instead.
Right.
And this other guy can just go provide an assist somewhere.
It's also much
So-
easier to play Agi 3-ball when you have 3 team rerolls.
Yeah, he's only got 2 and no APO. I mean, I get that you want to have a fucking sweet Minotaur, and
Yeah.
that thing is sweet, but at 210k and AV8, that thing's not that hard to punch down.
Yeah, like, look at this thing. This thing is literally 2 Chaos Warriors.
Yep. You literally could have had 2 Chaos Warriors. You could have had a Chaos Warrior
And
I want you
just
to
did
imagine a
and a
world.
reroll and block on both of these Chaos Warriors.
What if 4 of your Chaos Warriors had block, and then one of them
And
also
you
had
would've
Mighty
had-
Blow?
Yeah.
or you just give wrestle to one of your Pestigors or whatever. You know,
Yeah.
there's lots of other skills you can put in.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Anyway,
this is a
I-
Fun Havers team, and we're making fun of a Fun Haver, so let's stop it.
Yeah, but it's
okay,
Yeah.
the reason we're doing it is
It's so
because Wild Ammo is
suboptimal.
really bad.
Yeah, I agree.
Wild
That
Ammo
Minotaur is
really,
awful.
really bad.
It's going to eat
Yeah.
so many of your blitzes, and when that guy goes wild and stays on the other side of the field and throws a tantrum for 4 turns, you're going to really feel this only having 2 block boys thing.
That said,
yeah.
as a man who is having fun, I fucking hope you win.
Oh yeah, man, I am rooting for Antler Hill on literally every game he plays because this team is sweet. I'm just afraid that poor Minotaur is going to get eaten by one of these Necro teams or this Goblin team or like any other source of horrible claw nonsense, and it's going to go real
Or it's
bad.
just gonna get stepped on. Like it's gonna get itself stuck over somewhere. They're gonna punch it and they're gonna put 4 guys on it and they're gonna step on it.
Exactly. I
and
know if I
it's
were
just
in
gonna
this
die.
division, I would be literally trying to step on it every turn.
That's honestly a lot of the teams in this. Like, Bride Putt is one of the more frequent things. Like, as much as a lot of people said fuck rocks, a lot of people don't really like pitch invasions. Plenty of people just said, you know what? Felling is an interesting game mechanic. Let's get some bribes.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, I want to do some predictions about the metagames for each of these divisions. So let's go back and look at the Raiden division again.
Yeah. Give me 1 sec. You guys can start.
Yeah, take your time. I have to click over there too. So, Raiden division. 2 elves, 2 Skaven, a Dark Elves, and a Lizards. There is a lot of elf shit happening in this division.
There's gonna be a lot of dodge in this division.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you
Yeah.
boys
Tackle
brought
is
tackle.
really important. Tackle is real important in this division.
Now,
I
that
know,
said,
I know exactly what skill Goblin Pile Driver is getting
It's
as soon as
tackle.
he levels, and it's tackle.
there were 6
I
tackle taken in
also-
this division. 6 of our teams took a tackle. I think there might be one with 2, but I think
Yeah.
that's kind of scary. Then 15 blocks across the skills. 4 guard in our division, all on 4 different teams.
Yep.
And then there's 2 wrestle. There's 1 strip ball, 3 sidestep, 6 dodge, and a claw for skills people took.
Yep. I'm the claw.
Yeah, you are the only claw in the division.
That's pretty interesting because the things that the claw is going to be good against, it's going to be good against the undead. The Norse don't care about it, nor do either of the Wood Elves or really the Skaven. The Dark Elves kind of cares. The claw is also deadly as hell to those poor Khemri.
Right.
So
It's good against Khemri. It's good against.
It's good against the Khemri and the Lizards, too.
Oh,
Yeah, it's good
Lizards,
against the
yeah.
Lizards. It's good against the non-peasant Bretts.
It's decent against the Bretts, and then it's like decent against the Dark Elves and stuff too.
Yeah.
So, honestly, I think that probably one of the most threatening teams here is that Wood Elf team with Strip
Yeah.
Ball, because there isn't sure hands here. The Skaven don't get it. The Lizards don't get it.
Accurate.
The Skaven thrower gets it.
Okay, that's
Um,
true.
That's it.
But, so like you get a turn to like pick up the ball with the thrower, and then you like set up your handoff chain, and then you do your handoff chain the next turn.
Those 2 Skaven throwers
like
are
your-
literally the only sure hands in the division.
And I just don't see other people getting it up because the Dark Elves need their levels for other things, and so do the other Wood Elves.
Oh man, that thrower of mine is getting sure hands ASAP.
Yeah, the elf teams generally need other things than
Exactly. They're busy getting dodge and shit.
Sure hands. Yeah.
Yep.
Because like they just hang back rather than like go somewhere where somebody can punch the ball.
So now you have Agi 4 already, so sure hands is not as high priority.
Exactly.
Ignoring the Kimry here, and like to a certain extent these undead, this is really not a very bashy division at all. Like Jimmy's Bretts and my Norse are like up there for bashiest teams in this division.
So lizards count. Like
sure,
played a fair bit of lizards as you have as well. Lizards are pretty buff boys.
I think that they're a very high variance team, and it drives me insane. They are so prone to snowballs.
That's fair.
Honestly, there's a lot of snowballing teams here. Like Brett's are a fouling team that relies on it.
Like my Norse boys.
Norse, that's the
Norse
definition.
Norse is the glassest.
Oh man, yes.
Khemri has those Tomb Guardians, but it also has skeletons, which we discussed earlier. Not that you want to do.
Yeah, like the skeletons are really easy to pick on.
I think the most reliable team in this division is probably the Dark Elves.
I think so.
You know what they want to do. They do it.
So, but that's true.
What they want to do.
But they're also 2 reroll no APO Dark Elves with exactly 4 positionals. So they're not like as scary as an 1100 Dark Elf would be otherwise, in my opinion.
They're medium, which is not like the super spicy Wood Elves, which is the double War Dancer one.
Game 8, I think Bus's team is going to be terrifying.
Reliable. See also Rylon's team. Like Rylon is planning to win the back half of the division because he's buying a tree and not expecting to lose as much stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas Willifrey is just trying to shoot out people, and he might do it.
Yeah, I think he, as long as his cute War Dancer boys don't fall down and die, he is in a great position.
Yep. I think Voyagers Undead are always got a fighting chance because that's undead.
I would say that the most important skill for people to take in this division is tackle.
Tackle is necessary to kill all those elves.
I think diving tackle is great in this division too.
Yeah, there's enough Agi access pieces here to take it. Yeah, I don't know. Like tackle, diving tackle, this is gonna be fine. Like it's in the elfier of the 2 divisions, but it's not super elfy. Like lizards, Norse, undead, Bretts, and Khemri are all pretty bashy, and that's 6 of 10. They're all at least like medium bashy. The Dark Elves, frankly, are
they're kind of in the
probably how they want to win these matchups.
Yeah, no, Dark Elves get to be kind of punchy. But again, they only have 4 positionals, so they're not like the block monster that they could be at this point.
Well, that's the thing about Dark Elves. That's why they're the bashier elves, because they're slower. They're movement 6 elves.
Movement 6, AV8.
6 linemen, movement 7, everybody else.
Yep.
The fast ones are 7, yeah. Okay, well, what else is there to talk about?
so
Stadium
fast.
upgrades in this division.
I love Wizard Hut.
3 kiosks, 2 beer stands, 2 security gates, a ref hut, a magic shop, and then 1 that wasn't taken.
So the double surfing upgrade is pretty cool because that's Bus leveraging that witch elf that he bought. Like he wants to get that kind of value out of Frenzy.
Oh yeah,
I like
it's
a
super
lot.
good.
I'm going to be taking a Frenzy goal when I can because surfing is amazing.
I think that Frenzy is a high valued skill in this this division, both because of all of the elf shit that's happening. I mean, a little bit, you're gonna run into some sidestep because of all the sidestep, but I think it's good against all of the other sideline shenanigans that are going to happen.
Because what else?
Frenzy
are going to play the sidelines if you let them.
Yeah.
Well, Frenzy also has kind of this pseudo tackle effect where you just get to roll, 2 more dice.
Right.
Well, presumably, you get to roll 2 more dice, assuming you don't fuck up and trap yourself.
Right. You get to roll like 1.5 more dice or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that is certainly a way that you can play it out. Like you can want Frenzy, you can want piling on. It's one many skills that make you better at hitting things. That also change the way the game is played, and I think forcing these high movement teams to not be able to run down the sideline is huge.
Okay, who do we think is going to win this div? I mean, I understand that some of us are in this div, so like we're biased.
I
but
vote for myself.
Who do you think is favored in this environment?
I think Rats are just really strong in general.
Yeah.
Just because they're a really good team.
I think this
the Wood
Undead is in a
Elves.
really good
Basunda's
place.
a really good coach. Jimmy's a good coach, even though his team he's playing Brett's, which is not a good team.
And
always
he's
works out for him.
I think Brett's are just bad.
yeah, and I already broke 2 of his linemen, so like he's
Yeah, I
starting
saw
down a
that.
little bit.
Undead is a strong team, especially for this is kind of a medium length season.
Yeah, 9 games
So
in a
I think
playoff.
that favors them. Yeah.
I think
I
that-
think this is one of those that could, like, any of these teams could
I agree.
take it.
I think that this division is kind of up in the air. Like, if any one of these elfy, ratty teams has a good run, they could easily just be 7-0 by round 7.
So basically, this is a team going to be defined by early, like 4-0 shootouts, and if they get that much SPP, they can snowball.
I think
See
that's very
also
true.
That if the Undead or the Khemri get a bunch of Kaz rolling, they could potentially just become so threatening that they can just win the back half of the division simply on the fact that there's a bunch of AP7 teams that can't deal with attrition.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if Voyager has a good run and this tackle Mighty Blow White gets to be level 4 by like game 3 or 4, he could just go on a killing spree.
Yeah.
You just blitz with every turn, pile on, and protect it with your zombies.
Yeah.
It's the thing that I'm thinking about, but you also could just buy a ghoul and do frenzy shenanigans. There's lots of options.
Exactly.
It's an up in the air league.
And you get to
yeah.
do some of that stuff because there's no oppressive claw Mighty Blow monster that's coming for you.
Speaking of oppressive claw mighty blow monster, shall we look at the other division?
Yeah, let's go look at this other division full of oppressive claw Mighty Blow monsters.
So I think both Necro are really well positioned. because
Yeah.
they
Yeah, okay,
took the
let's-
mighty blow, so they
yeah,
have
let's-
full mighty blow already.
Yeah, this one's 2 Necro, 2 Undead, a Chorf, Chaos, and then we have a Goblin, a Pro Elf, and then we have like humans and Amazons in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
This is like on the other side of the Bash Elf paradigm as the other one. Like it's leaning towards Bash, I think.
We have in our Elfier teams, we've got the humans, which those have a chance. Grades humans certainly have a chance.
We've got literal elves.
Yeah,
pro elves.
Moniker, who,
Yeah.
frankly, I'm going to put my pick out earlier. I think Moniker probably has a chance to do this. And I'm saying this so he doesn't win it. Because if I say Moniker's going to win it, that means he probably won't.
I think
seriously,
that Moniker has a good chance because I think a lot of his games are going to be win-loss, and I think a lot of games in this division are likely to end in draws.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I also think Moniker is probably one of the
Moniker's
better
good.
Agi coaches I know. Like, he knows how to run
Moniker's
this sort of
really
game.
good.
But I think aside from the goblins and our poor crippled Chorfs, I think everybody's got a pretty good shot, and I don't even think that either of those are out of it.
Except
for the goblins.
I think the chaos being fun haver chaos has a really bad shot.
I agree.
That's true.
Like,
But he's still Chaos.
I'm-
Like all
I'm
of his
not
pieces
gonna-
are still good.
yeah, all of his pieces are still good, but he's got a really tough road ahead of him.
Yeah.
Just starting with this Blodge Minotaur is it's just so bad.
It's gonna be real fun for like one game, and then he's gonna just like throw a tantrum for an entire half one time, and you're never gonna want to play that team
mean,
again.
Yeah. Oh, you mean the Minotaur? Yes, sure. Okay.
No,
I thought
no,
you
not
meant I thought you meant Antler Hill. I was like, we don't even know Antler Hill
No,
that well.
Seems chill.
Like,
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
yeah.
But going back into it, having played a bunch of Necro lately, Rusty solved I think the biggest problems with them which is wanting one mighty blow and getting blocked on those Franks. And Gnatic made his Necro more threatening by getting the 3 rerolls, which means that you can play make a little more aggressively. You don't have to be as conservative with 3 rolls, and getting 2 mighty blow, which means he's got some of the best kill potential in the entire div.
I also like these Amazons.
Yeah,
I think the Amazons are really good.
I have my eye on the Amazons.
I think they can outbash me as someone of the undead in this division, simply because 4 guard and the fact that only my tackle piece can reliably hit them. I'm hoping to get more tackle by the time I face them.
So the
And when
breakdown
you-
for
let's
skills
see
here
when
is
you
basically the same as the first div, but there's like an outlier in that Forrest just has 4 fucking guard on his team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then
I
there's
mean-
like 7 mighty blow and 15 blocks. But there's only 4 tackles in this div, though it matters a lot less.
We've talked about the lots of versions of the 4 whatever team. There's the 4 block orcs with some guard.
Yep.
There's the 4 guard chorfs or dwarves, which is also a version of guard team. I think with Amazon it's even better because those pieces have dodge and agility 3, so it's mobile guard. Mobile guard is really annoying. I mean, the saving grace of this team.
I think these Zons are really well positioned against the lack of tackle in the format, and also the prevalence of clawboys.
Yep, yeah. Claw doesn't do nothing against AV7.
Yep.
Here's the thing. There isn't that much AV9 here. Like, Frank.
So here's another thing to think about with some of these blitzers. They can just take stand firm as well. So like, you can just have a blodge firm guy. Or girl.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not like the normal Linos leveling is bad. Like, another blodge guy.
Linos leveling is
exactly
that's the thing you want. You want to give all these people blodge. You want just a team of blodge fuckers. As
Amazon's turns into like the fucking shittiest thing to play against.
And you know who the spoiler is here?
Stats, but
the spoiler
just
is
having blodge on everybody is great.
With his chorfs everywhere, and while he took the claw because he was expecting to face more AV9, and there's some here, he is the person that has the most tackle here. Like, I don't know if Rusty has any tackle. No, he doesn't.
What's it?
Yeah, I mean, like, Hiroshia just has to play super tight now. His team is not in any way, like, broken.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Rusty doesn't have tackle.
No, he doesn't. None of the Necro have tackle. Voyager and I have 1 tackle each. Moniker has 1 tackle. Crate has 2 tackle because Moniker really, really likes that skill and gave him good advice.
Good skill.
Oh, man, is it... I guess 2 of them are on Crate, so there's only 4 tackle in the div. I mean, aside from the starting tackles.
There's 8 tackle in the div if you count the...
Right.
Well, actually...
No, it's 10 if you count the dwarves.
Yeah. Because the dwarves have a lot of tackle. So, we're rooting for you, Hiroshia, to kill some Amazons.
Yeah, certainly. Like, you are the dwarves this team deserves. Just grow into them. Or this div, rather.
I think Prozac also has the chance to be a dark horse, not necessarily to win it, because I love goblins, but not that much, but to just randomly ruin a run, because goblins are scary, man.
They can. They can just kill anything, or all of the things, or even themselves.
I mean, I will say my undead probably have a chance. Furl's undead probably have a chance. I keep thinking they're Voyagers, but, you know, Furl does them a little differently. It's fine. It's similar, and Furl's actually very solid at what he does. He might bash me. We'll see.
I think this div is bashy enough. We have to let it shake out a little bit.
So Hiroshia doesn't play Denizen until week 9.
Well, Denizen got real lucky there.
Yup. That's a great schedule for Denizen. I mean, it means potentially like he goes into the playoffs with like
6 Misnix games and a broken team. Yeah.
Like, you know, it's real good for his chances to get to the playoffs.
I think this division is maybe a little less even than the others, but again, these are teams that can surprise you. Dwarves are never out of it. I coach a lot of dwarves. A team with a bunch of long beards is still a team. The Fun Haver Chaos, they're still Chaos. Chaos has got great stat lines. And while the Minotaur is high variance, it does have power. I don't like it, but, you know, it doesn't mean that I don't necessarily respect the thing and throw 6 players at it until it's off the pitch. And, like, again, my favorite's Moniker, but Denizen's, I think, really scary. Furl potentially might outdo me. Crate makes plays. Like, yeah, okay, people say he does silly things, but humans are a good team for that because they got a lot of built-in rerolls.
Yeah. Furl's a good coach.
Yeah, no, he's Necro are fine. Necro are well positioned.
Yeah, Furl plays a lot in person.
I'm pumped for this. Like, yeah, we maybe said things that we liked or didn't like, but this is gonna be some Blood Bowl.
Oh yeah, I don't think any of these teams are like actually bad. I certainly shoved some daggers at some of them, but I think that everybody is built in such a way that they're competitive.
I also think everybody that I've seen play knows how to play. Like, we've talked up a couple of coaches because they've personally taught us lessons, but I think the nice part about this competition is it's a lot of experienced coaches that even if everybody makes some mistakes, they generally know how to play the game pretty well. Yeah.
It's also nice to have people that will actually schedule with you easily and actually show up and play a whole game and not be giant, salty ass monsters after the game too. And
Don't know anybody like that. But it really comes down to the fact that at the end of the game, whoever scores the most points wins.
Thanks, Yogi.
I think that was Madden, actually.
Was that a Madden? Sure. They're basically the same.
I mean,
wonderful,
yeah.
Madden.
Would you like to talk about football or baseball?
What's the
I
difference?
mean, I guess we should be talking about football because this is like a football themed thing.
I
This
mean,
is what
I don't see
Europe-
any
Talk
soccer
about
players in
baseball
Blood
if you
Bowl.
like.
This is what Europeans think football is.
Yeah.
And I mean, if football is actually a bunch of zombies chasing it after a bunch of Amazons as a bunch of elves do stupid asshole shit on the pitch, yeah, okay.
Yeah, man, if
Probably-
we can revive like arena football as this, I'm down. The XFL
Yes.
again, yeah.
Randomous. Not to go too off topic, but the XFL is being revived.
I'm aware,
I'll talk to you
yeah.
about it off mic later.
Yeah, I know the reboot. It's great.
Oh dear. At any rate, I'm pumped for this.
Yeah.
I'm happy to talk about my matches because I'm in the other div. You and Tim are both in a div. So I'd be willing to give an update.
Yeah, man.
Please
I'm sure
don't
I'll grab you
happen.
for some of these. I think what I'm gonna do for my games in this div is try and do a post-com with my opponent each week, and just try and do like a half-hour, 45-minute sit-down and chat about all the plays that actually were plays in our games. But I would love to have a third person in on that for a lot of those too, just to have fresh eyes on a game rather than just, the people who were tunnel visioned the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll be around to guess sometimes.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah, it's definitely really good to have somebody look at it with kind of fresh eyes and see, oh, this is maybe you could have done this instead or whatever.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I play Norse horribly because I've played about 4 games of Norse in my life at this point. So we'll find out lots and lots of opportunities for better play.
I mean, I've played about 2 games of Rats, so,
You played a lot of pro elves, and I'm interested to see if that translates. Like, that's actually part of why I didn't vote you as likely top of that div, as much as I know you're a very good elf coach. Because I think pro elves and rats are significantly different. And
Yeah,
while
I think
rats-
it's going to be different enough that I'm going to have some amount of trouble.
I think rats are probably the team I'd rather play, just because I don't like the idea of throwing the football.
Rats can pass the ball.
They can. They've got enough
They're actually
agility,
4.
but they don't have the skills built in for it.
It's true, they don't. They're not, pro elf catchers who can just catch in 5 tackle zones and don't give a fuck.
Or high elf throwers, which start literally never needing any levels, and if they get them, they get to buy nice luxury shit. Or they get doubles and strong arm. That's the thing that happens.
Oh, strong arm's great on a fucking elf thrower.
So that's just never gonna happen for you.
Let me rein you guys in so
Yeah.
that I might end this. Thank you,
Okay.
listeners, for
No,
paying
let's
attention to us
keep
talk
talking.
about your divisions. It was much
We will.
appreciated. And we'll be back with a recap of these fucking games next week. We'll see where this shit
Definitely.
goes.
I love talking some Blood Bowl. This is a lot of fun.
Alright, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.